Assalamu Alaikum everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a wonderful day. So in today's video I just want to do a quick news round, so kind of give you an update of what's happening in the market in terms of earnings, in terms of things that have changed in the last few weeks, talk about the general markets as well, and then at the end I'm just going to give you a quick portfolio update. I'm still traveling, so I'm not sure if I will be able to do a portfolio update until at least the 10th of this month. But yeah, inshallah, we'll see how that goes. If you haven't joined us on the Discord and the Patreon account, please do so, because that really helps the channel. So let's get to this video, because I want to make it very quick. Okay, so as you know, basically a lot of companies have reported last week, and probably the ones that are in the green are the ones that did really well. So this is the 1 week view of the market for just last week. This is the S&P 500. There's some companies that have done really well, and there's some companies that haven't done so well. Okay, so companies like Google, for example, and Meta, or Facebook if you like, they've been up about 10%. Okay, their earnings was quite good and so on. You've got other companies like, for example, Applied Materials, Lam Research, for example, and KLA. They've done really well in the last, basically just last week, about 10% up, almost 11% up, some of them. Not so good news is S&P and Global, one company that I'm going to talk about in a bit. Okay, that's the company that I own in the portfolio, and obviously Union Pacific as well. Okay, so there are a couple of companies that did all right in my portfolio, but majority of the companies that I own last week were, I think it was mixed. Okay, I think it was mixed. Let's have a look at the S&P 500. So this is the S&P 500 year to date, and that's 20% up. So that's quite a bit. Okay, if this continues, by the time we get to the end of the year, we could potentially be up 25% or so. Okay, in comparison to last year, where we were down 17% or whatever it was, the S&P 500. That is a very good news. And again, this is why they say on average, okay, the S&P 500, basically the market will give you about 8%, okay, on average for a long period of time. So we were down last year. We might be able to actually get some of those gains again and then add to it. Okay, so basically it kind of balances out, and this is why we need to be long-term investors and not just based on what's happening at that point. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second in a bit more detail. And then a year to date, when you look at the Dow Jones, recently it hasn't, I mean, about a month and a half ago this wasn't actually participating in what's happening in the overall market, but right now, as you can see, it's 7% up, which is really nice, right? So 7%, and remember, this is 30 companies that are like a dinosaur. They've been there for a very long time. Salesforce and a couple of others are companies that are kind of new, but you've got the 3Ms, the Procter & Gamble, and J&J. You've got all the basically big boys in there. So 7% up is actually not bad. So that means the overall market is now kind of participating. Okay, but the one that has killed the market completely is this one here, the Nasdaq. Okay, the QQQ, which is basically tracks the Nasdaq 100, and that is 45%, let's call it. Okay, 45% up since the beginning of the year. So if you had this ETF, right, the QQQ, you would be up right now 45% in just a space of 7 months or so. Okay, and yeah, it's basically done absolutely amazing job, and that's what's helped the market. Remember, the S&P 500 has loads of companies that are in the Nasdaq as well, so that overlap actually helped. And the companies that mainly helped this whole thing is the companies they now calling the Magnificent Seven. So let's just look at how much each one of these companies are up. So if you look at, for example, Tesla, a year to date, that is, by the way, okay, Tesla is up 146%. Just think about that, 146% a year to date. That's absolutely ridiculous, with a PE right now of 75. It used to be in the thousands, it's come back down, and now it almost has a market cap of $1 billion, basically over 1 trillion. It's getting there. It was there not long ago. Okay, 2021, it was, I think it got there 1.1 trillion club, and then it kind of came back down after that. Then you've got Apple. Okay, Apple is year to date is actually up 56%. It has a PE of 33 right now, and it's a $3 trillion company market cap. So again, another huge company doing absolutely amazing. Okay, I don't own Apple, So anyone that owns Apple, good, basically well done to you guys. Okay. Then the next company we're looking at, let's have a look, is the Amazon. Where did it go? And this one is also up 54% a year to date. This is one of the companies that haven't done nothing, absolutely nothing for a very long time, but it has actually come back. I think since 2020 it has been 2021 I think it's done all right. 2022 it was actually quite disappointing. And PE of 320 right now, a $1.3 trillion market cap. So again, another huge company doing absolutely amazing, 54%. Then we have Microsoft. You would expect Microsoft don't normally go up that much, but this term, this basically year, this since the beginning of the year, it has gone up about 41%. Okay, 41% for Microsoft. A lot of it to do with the obviously the AI situation. It has a market cap of $2.5 trillion and it has a PE right now almost to 35. So another huge company doing absolutely amazing. Then we have the big dog. We have Nvidia. Nvidia's gone up 226% since the beginning of the year. I do remember when they did this split, I think it was 110, 20 or whatever it was, right? And I remember talking about it and saying 120 is too expensive. Look at it right now. They haven't even 467%. $64 right now from 120 whenever that split was. And right now it's a $1.15 trillion market cap. It's absolutely ridiculous. But look at the PE, 242. Okay, the PE doesn't give the whole story, but it kind of gives us an idea of where these companies are trading. Okay, how much investors are willing to bet on these companies' earnings, future earnings, that is. Okay, we are kind of estimating this company is gonna go to $2 trillion company in the next whatever years. Okay, that's what they're saying. And finally we have Meta, or Facebook if you like, up 160%. Remember when this company was so out, like completely, and no one wanted to touch it? It was done because of the NFTs, because of not NFTs, what is it called, the metaverse and all of that stuff, the fact that they changed their name, that everything has changed. Look at it right now, 160% up, 38 PE, going up to that $1 trillion market cap. So the moral of this story is these companies have done absolutely amazing, but there are companies that basically have not done as good as these companies. Okay, and when as a value investors, we don't need to chase these companies. I will not be buying any of these companies anytime soon. Okay, even obviously I'm not going to buy Amazon and Apple and so on because of Sharia compliance side of things. However, basically some of these companies are in the ETFs that if you own the Halal ETF, for example, okay, they have a lot of these companies on their top 10. So you're doing really well on that side of things. But if you're buying the ETF, I guess it's okay. But if you're buying the actual just stock, then you really have to be careful because these companies are up so much and the PE is so ridiculous right now. For some of them anyway, you don't need to chase them. I think I saw a comment a couple of days ago. I haven't replied to. I'm really sorry if I haven't replied to that one yet. But someone asked if Nvidia is a buy right now. Should I buy it because it's gone up so much? Absolutely no. I would not be comfortable buying Nvidia right now in this situation when it's up over 200. That's ridiculous. Okay, 226%. I will not be buying that sort of a company into this portfolio. Okay, so you really, the moral of the story, you really have to be careful about this type of companies. They're doing absolutely amazing. They carry in the market. Okay, think when you look at the basically just the last 6 months, okay, or year to date performance, you will see a lot of these companies are the ones that are actually doing absolutely amazing. So you genuinely have to be careful with these companies. And I will reiterate again, I'm not buying these companies right now. Okay, so what am I doing instead? Okay, but before I do that, one more thing before I actually talk about the portfolio. So next week we've got loads of companies reporting. So July 31st, which is basically in 2 days time, a lot of companies will be reporting, but the ones that I'm really interested in is the ones, as always, the ones I own and the big boys, obviously. So Merck is actually reporting on Tuesday. AMD, which will be interesting to see. Okay, I don't own it, but it will be interesting to see what they say. And in terms of especially AI and that side of things, because Nvidia does not report until later in the month, so we'll see what they say. You've got a few other companies reporting. Qualcomm is actually reporting on Wednesday after the close, so that will be interesting to see. This is a company that I'm really bullish on, and I think now I'm starting to go into the green. I think now it's started again, so it's done well in the last couple of weeks. But yeah, so there's another company that would be interesting to see what their earnings, because it's down quite a bit basically since the beginning of the year. Then you've got Amazon, then you've got Apple. So it would be interesting to see what Amazon and Apple, for example, say in terms of all markets. And then there are obviously a few other companies that I do not own in the portfolio that would be reporting. So just keep an eye on this, because it can change things. If Apple, for example, comes out and says something, whatever, it can easily change the market. But obviously, it'll be interesting to see what they say. Okay, next thing is just the portfolio. So the portfolio hasn't actually changed a lot, as you can see here. Now we bought £81,000, so we're doing well. We're doing absolutely well so far. So companies like 3M has actually come back quite a bit. At one point I was £1,500 down. Right now it's only less than £1,000, which is quite nice. Major change. So companies like AstraZeneca, I was buying every single week. Now it's actually come back up again. So next week I will be buying a few more shares of that company. Automatic data processing has actually done well. It's come back. Broadcom is just going to the moon. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this company. Some days I feel like I should trim it, take some of that profit. Let me know what you think, by the way. Okay, let me know what you think about Broadcom. I'm up, as you can see, almost a 90%. Should I take some of that profit off the table completely and add it to another company, or should I just keep it? Because as they say, don't basically obviously sell your winners and keep your losers. So I don't want to let that happen, you know what I mean? And the dividends is actually quite good for this company. So yeah, we'll see. Cisco is reporting, I think, not next week, a week after. Cummins, all of these companies have done well. Now watch this. I've had so many reds, but right now 1, 2, okay, 3, 4, 5, 6 companies in the red. Everything else is actually in the green. At one point these two were in the red, but not anymore. They're almost basically up 13%, 2%, whatever it is. Unilever is now in the green. S&P and Global is the one I want to talk about very quickly, and this company is actually gone down a lot this week. And just if you look at the just last week performance wise, you can see it's about 7% down. Now I really like this company, okay? So I'm gonna do a full analysis in the next couple of days, and possibly will be adding to it, because I need to get to at least 15 shares of this company before it does what it does normally and go to the moon. Okay, so it's trading high. I think it's higher multiples right now, but I'm gonna double check it, do a quick analysis. Right now I'm only 7% up, so I wouldn't mind basically buying a few more shares before it goes up. And really genuinely like the company, I like the business. There was nothing wrong with their basically earnings report, but for some reason obviously they missed it. I think it was the EPS, they missed it by 1 penny, like literally 1 cent. 1 cent, and for that reason it actually went down. Nothing else has changed. I think that's what it was. Okay, so for that reason I think I'm gonna add a few more. So 7% down. I have not seen that much of a basically this stock trading down basically that much in a while. So it will be a good opportunity. I believe it's a good opportunity for me anyway. For you, you're gonna have to do your own research, but for me I think it'll be good to actually add some, maybe 2-3 stock shares in the next couple of days. And finally, the next one is basically this one here, Union Pacific. So Union Pacific is now, the former CEO is actually gone. The new one is actually in. This guy was a guy who was in the company. I think he was their CEO about 4 or 5 years ago before this guy came along, or however long it was. Okay. And for that reason, the stock actually went up 7% or 8% on that day, or was it 10%, whatever it was on that day, instead actually going down. They missed both earnings and the EPS and as well as the revenue, but the stock was up quite a bit because of that news that he's back now and he's in charge of the company. And I think that a lot of people favor him, and a lot of people have been saying the old guy, he had to go. So now he's gone. Let's see what happens to the company. I really need to get to 30 shares. That's my plan, inshallah. So I'm gonna look into this company in the next few weeks. So there you have it. It's like kind of quick update of the portfolio. Like I said, I'm traveling a little bit, so I will do as much as I can in the next few weeks. And then inshallah, maybe on the 10th, on the 9th of August, I will be doing portfolio update, full portfolio update, to show you everything I normally show you, inshallah. Have a wonderful day. Assalamu Alaikum.